So Sony's set to release big hitters more consistently, the shocking PlayStation 5 Pro performance boost, and the new horror PlayStation 5 exclusive. Those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, are you pre-ordering the Astrobot DualSense controller or not? Pre-orders are going live today, and I'll be picking one up myself, as I've mentioned before, but that's just me. What about you? So comment below yes or no if you're pre-ordering the Astrobot DualSense controller or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, new PlayStation 5 horror exclusive. Reading from MP First, currently PlayStation Studios has a large number of unannounced projects in the works, one of them being a single-player narrative horror project developed by the studio Firesprite, which was acquired by Sony in 2021. Although we know little to nothing about this game officially, over the years, rumors and leaks have emerged around this project, such as an internal document that would reveal the game's codename being Heartbreak, and statements from insider Colin Moriarty, who claimed in a podcast that the game could be set on an island and have a female protagonist. One speculation that has been circulating about the game is the possibility that it's not a new IP, but an existing one, an idea that has been fueled in the past by reputable insider Jason Schreier, hinting on Reddit that it wouldn't be new. All of this gains strength thanks to another discovery made in the resume of writer Ren Alex Rose, who worked for Firesprite from 2022 until April of this year. In her resume, she mentioned designing characters and plot lines within pre-established IP, confirming long-held suspicions. Now, which horror IP could she be referring to? We can't answer this question without first linking all of this to one more thing. The discovery takes us to an unusual place, to the Pinterest profile of the environment artist Andreas Huwin, who currently works at Firesprite. In his pins section, we can see different types of illustrations ranging from architecture to sci-fi, and the part that concerns us, illustrations of cosmic horror. Could this be the type of horror that the game will use? We can only speculate, as they could just be drawing references not related to the project. So the article continues to speculate this could be a sequel to Until Dawn, which a lot of other people have mentioned as well, or a potential revival of the Siren franchise, which is a classic horror franchise from PlayStation. Now, for me, I would have reference Firesprite's already existing IP, The Persistence, which is a Dead Space-like roguelike game, but considering Colin Moriarty has stated Project Heartbreak could be set on an island, that doesn't sound like The Persistence if it's set on an island somewhere with a female protagonist. I'm not sure how Until Dawn, a sequel for that, works, considering your choices decide who lives and dies in the original. This new one would have to have some type of way of just going through the golden path or just the good path, which I guess makes your choices just pointless in the original Until Dawn if they make a sequel. Or maybe they'll just bring up a whole different group, the same type of concept but a completely different story, departing from the original game. A revival of the Siren franchise would also be interesting, but considering Sony has an Until Dawn remake coming out this year and a movie in the works as well, it looks like they're pushing pretty hard for that IP going forward. So let's see if Firesprite is making a sequel to Until Dawn or not. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony pushing out multiple hitters and doing so more consistently. So Sony had their Q1 earnings call recently and discussed restructuring the PlayStation division in reference to the unfortunate layoffs they've had over there recently. This was done, according to them, so they can strengthen their development schedule. With this, they can optimize projects in order to consistently and continually release hits. So they're refining and optimizing their process, which makes sense since we've been hearing and basically seeing that Sony is trying to announce games closer to their release, like they did with Astrobot and Horizon Adventures. They announced those games earlier this year and they're releasing later this year. This could be why we've had this break period of silence in recent memory, so when they're ready and do start announcing games, they're not far from release, and these games will be announced and released more consistently one after the other. That looks to be their current plan. Sony is already set to have a busy next few years, with them confirming big PlayStation releases will start going out after March 2025. So titles like Ghost of Tsushima 2, Naughty Dog's new IP, Sony Santa Monica's new IP, Project Heartbreak from Firespray, Bluepoint's new game, etc. Those games will probably start releasing after March 2025. I'm hoping the hype train or the announcement train starts later this year at least. But you guys let me know if you're excited for the potential PlayStation Showcase or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the shocking PlayStation 5 Pro performance boost. So I'm going to read this article from WCCF Tech, but I'm also going to add some clarity as we go through it. So I'm just going to slide some things in there. You won't know that it's coming from me, but it's just to make the article a bit easier to digest. So let's start reading this. Despite the PS5 Pro CPU and RAM not seeing much of an improvement over the base PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 Pro will feel like 100% more powerful than the regular PlayStation 5 thanks to upscaling and improvements in hardware. During the latest episode of the Moore's Law is Dead Broken Silicon podcast, Alderaan Games founder Matthew Scassels discussed the yet-to-be-revealed mid-generation refresh and how its power and the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaler will improve games. Talking specifically about the studio's games, the console could allow them to activate ray tracing if the game already manages to run at 60 FPS on the base PlayStation 5 without ray tracing. So the base PlayStation 5 would have 60 FPS and the Pro would be 60 FPS with ray tracing. Regarding resolution, the console's additional power will allow games to be a little less blurry than the base PlayStation 5, but it won't solve the issue entirely, and upscaling will continue to play a big role in the grand scheme of things, as game engines like Unreal Engine 5 aren't getting any faster and will continue to need upscaling. PSSR, however, will make the PlayStation 5 Pro actually feel 100% more powerful than the base PlayStation 5 to developers, split between 50% of actual hardware improvements and the other 50% brought by upscaling. Discussing the PlayStation 5 Pro leak specs further, the Alderaan Games founder feels that the aforementioned limited CPU and RAM improvements aren't going to be a massive problem, as the vast majority of console games aren't CPU bottlenecked, which we've mentioned before on the channel, and scaling up RAM is usually amongst the hardest things to do as developers optimize according to available RAM, and only some of the biggest games with the biggest development teams would be able to take advantage of the additional amount. Here he's referring to the additional 1.2 gigabytes of RAM with the PlayStation 5 Pro, and actually taking advantage of that, he feels that most developers probably won't go that route because it'll take a lot more effort. The GPU improvements, on the other hand, may allow some games to run with the equivalent of epic settings instead of medium settings usually used for the base PlayStation 5. The additional power may also make it easier for developers to implement 120 Hz modes with further tweaking of the graphics settings. So focusing on Grand Theft Auto 6 here, we've talked about CPU bottlenecks not being the majority issue with games nowadays before. Digital Foundry, while being a bit more cautious on the topic, themselves have mentioned that CPU bottlenecks are out there in a few games as well, mentioning Baldur's Gate 3 as an example, and that game already also has a 60 FPS performance mode on the base PlayStation 5. The standard this generation has been to offer both a quality and performance mode. We've seen that on most games, and I personally think GTA 6 will do the same thing on the base PlayStation 5. An ex-Rockstar developer mentioned not too long ago that they don't believe GTA 6 will be that much different from GTA 5, which I assume he means city activities, open world, etc. You're going to have a lot of the same things that you do on GTA 5. So I don't think this game will have this intense CPU bottleneck issue when it comes to the PlayStation 5 or Series X. This allows the PS5 Pro to push resolution higher with a 60 FPS performance mode, and I guess ray tracing as well if Rockstar really wanted to add that, making the PlayStation 5 Pro the best place to play Grand Theft Auto Auto 6. Of course, let's wait and see how this goes, but hearing a developer talk very positively about the PlayStation 5 Pro is definitely exciting. But you guys let me know if you're getting a PS5 Pro for GTA 6 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "We need that reveal." Obviously here I'm referencing the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm excited for this event. I can't wait for Sony to announce this event so we can finally see it, get our hands on this thing, and move past these PlayStation 5 Pro discussions. Even though I have been enjoying them, I just really want to see this thing. If you're excited for the PlayStation 5 Pro, destroy the comment section with "We need that reveal," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.